Well, Federal Bank is all set to declare its Q3 FY22 numbers, and let's break the numbers down a bit for you. So revenue is going to come in broadly with a 4.2% growth is expected to breach that 2000 crore mark. It was at 1924 crore in Q2 of FY22. When we look at net interest income, that number is also expected to grow by a healthy 7.2% year on year, but when we look at it sequentially, that's where the number looks really good. 4.1% growth expected to come in sequentially. 1540 crore is where the net interest income is expected to stand at. And then finally coming to PAT. PAT is expected to grow by 4.4% sequentially. Strong PAT growth there, and almost 19% PAT growth on a year-on-year basis. It's expected to go from 400 crore in Q3 of FY21 to 480 crore in Q3 of FY22. And that number stood at broadly 460 crore in Q2 of FY22. So definitely good things happening here for Federal Bank when we look at the income side of things. When we look at gross NPAs, that also is steadily improving. It was at 2.7% in Q3 of FY21. It's obviously gone up after that second wave to 3.24% after the Q1 quarter. In Q2 of FY22 it was at 3.24, and now it's expected to improve by 0.1% or so. 3.15% is where gross NPAs are expected to stand at. Net NPAs too seeing a sequential improvement, but a marginal one. 2 basis point expected in terms of that improvement from 1.12% to 1.1%. That's where that number is expected to stand at. But the NIM trajectory is expected to be stable, 3% in Q2 to 3% in Q3. On the balance sheet side of things, these disclosures have already been made by the company. Advances are expected to go up 12% year on year, 4.5+% sequentially, very close to that 1.5 lakh crore mark this time around. When we look at deposits too, that growth is expected to come in 2% sequentially and 8.5% on a year-on-year basis, with CASA expanding 15.5% on a year-on-year basis. So the CASA ratio is expected to stand at standing at around 36.7%. Again, some of these numbers already disclosed by the bank. In terms of factors to watch out, the NIM is expected to remain stable. Key monitorables is going to be asset quality, especially of the SME and the retail portfolio, which will continue to be in focus, and on growth, on how the bank is going to continue to grow going forward. That's also going to be in focus. Of course, Federal Bank in terms of returns has exceeded Nifty Bank returns over the last 1 year or so. 31.5% returns posted by the stock over the last year. When we look at brokerages as well, very strong commentary from brokerages. Almost 80 to 90% of brokerages having a buy rating on Federal Bank. You look at Motilal with a target price of 130, Centrum with a target price of 125, even ICICI Securities, all these domestic brokerages having 120 plus target prices. Even the likes of Morgan Stanley is looking at 130 rupees in terms of a target price. Looking strong, 35 rupee gain on a 93 rupee stock price where it is currently. So good things happening for Federal Bank in terms of the Q3 results, as well as how brokerages are viewing the bank.